The best way to guarantee that you grow as a person is to identify what's not working and set intentions for what to do instead. And this doesn't have to be hard either, because if you know your Enneagram type, you're already halfway there. So I put together some ins and outs for all 9 Enneagram types. So if you need help or inspiration to kind of set your intentions for this year, I've got you. This is the video for you. This is your outs for 2025. First up, we've got couch rot. And this is the bad kind, you know, where it goes from, I'm comfortable and this is nice, to, ugh, I hate myself and I am literally a ball of slime. And people pleasing, that's out this year. We're not doing that anymore. Being chronically online, especially this year, there's so much crappy stuff happening. Like, get off the internet, 9s. Get off now. You know what else is out? Believing that your voice doesn't matter. We are gonna flip the script. A 9's core longing is knowing that their voice matters, and we're not gonna wait for someone to give us permission to do that this year. You're gonna do that for yourself. Next up, we're killing guilt for having boundaries, okay? That's done. I recently talked to an Enneagram type 9 who was really bothered because every time her husband woke up in the morning, he immediately was checking the news and then like reading all these horrible things out loud, like a plane crash and all of these things, and it was totally ruining her peace. It was ruining her morning and starting her days off wrong. And he was doing that for years. And finally, her daughter was like, Mom, just set boundaries for yourself. Geez. So she finally told her husband, like, hey, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me those things in the morning. And guess what he did? It's crazy. He stopped and she felt better about it. So we're gonna follow Sally's example. We're gonna follow her example and we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna have boundaries, we're gonna set them, and we're not gonna feel bad about it. Next up is not getting enough sleep. That's done. We're not doing that anymore, unless you're a new parent like me, in which case I can't guarantee anything, and neither can you, and neither can your baby. So we'll just wait until they're teenagers. I don't know. Parents, let me know. When does the sleep start happening again? Letting resentment fester, that's out, okay? That leads to passive aggressiveness and just suppressing your anger, and it's not good for you. It's not good for the people that you love either, so let's get rid of it. Then following when you should be leading. So many times there are 9s who are so qualified to be leaders, but they defer to others and they let other people do it just to keep the peace. And come on, guys, like, how much better would the world be if more 9s were in charge? Like, let's get some leaders out there. On a more positive note, let's talk about the ins for 2025. These are the signs of growth for you. Making you a priority. No is a complete sentence. That goes right back to the boundary thing. We're saying no, and then we're putting a period after it, and that's the end of that. Speaking up at work, that's happening. We're not letting people talk over us, interrupt us. We are speaking up, saying our mind, voicing our opinions. Healthy routines, always a good one for 9s to strive for. Writing down what you're grateful for at the end of the day, this can do wonders for your mental health. Clearly stating what you want and what you need. We're not gonna push those down anymore, even if it's been like 30 years since you've said, I want to do this with my life. And it's been 30 years since you've said that. You need to get your butt into gear, okay? This is the year that 9s are gonna do what they want to do. Saying how you feel the second you feel a hint of anger, okay? That way, it's not festering, it's not simmering, it's not ruining your relationships. You feel angry, you tell that person that you're angry, that hurt your feelings. Invest in a creative hobby. Say no more adult coloring book ads. Say no more junk journaling, all right? We're coming for you. And lastly, frolicking in nature. All 9s should be doing this. That's their native state, just little fairies frolicking around the forest. All right, outs for type 8s in 2025. The first one up is saying everything I think, or an 8 reworded this for me and I thought it was genius. It was saying what I think to people who deserve my energy and reserving silence for those who don't. All right, that's wisdom. That's 8 hard-earned wisdom. What's out? Being everything for everyone. Stop it. Caffeine on an empty stomach. Stop it. You need protein.
Stop it. Get some
protein. Okay? An all or nothing mindset. We're not doing that this year. If you go for a run, but you eat a chocolate cake that day, it doesn't mean you can't go for a run the next day. We're not covering up all of our feelings with anger, okay? Anger is not the overarching thing that is gonna cover up feelings of vulnerability and sadness, okay? We're gonna feel those smaller emotions, those more nuanced emotions this year. Out is over processed foods. Hiding the fact that you're burned out. If you're burned out, say you're burned out. Stop saying yes to everything at work. And last is steamrolling. We're not doing that this year. We're gonna grow and be amazing and not steamroll. Some ins for you for 2025 is accepting the same love and protection that you offer other people. You deserve that. What else is in? Feeling big emotions. Staying in your own lane. Getting sunshine every morning. Cheering on the underdog. 8s are so good at this. They make incredible mentors. Pick someone in your life that needs a cheerleader and be that for them. Exercise that makes you happy. 8s, you're not forcing yourself to do CrossFit anymore if you hate doing it. Go do Zumba, go to a dance class, go do something that brings you joy. Taking a pause to speak before you say something, okay? It's okay to speak your mind, but just pause for a second, think it through, and then you can say it. Or not say it. You know, you never know. Could not be the thing you need to be saying. More sharing meals with the people that you love. Yes. And last thing that's in for you guys, accepting the strength and vulnerability. Type 7s, let's get into it. Your outs for 2025, rushing the now to get to the future. Because then once you get to the future that you were rushing to, you're not even enjoying it because you're going to the next future. It's just this never-ending cycle. Just being content and happy, that's kind of what we wanna do. We wanna be present in the moment. Letting other people steal your joy, that's out, okay? You be your shiny unicorn self. Don't let people take that away from you. FOMO, no more of that. Next up, getting stuck in a routine. It's just gonna crush your soul and break your spirit, so we're not gonna do that.
Break her heart?
In half.
Crush her soul?
Like a grape.
Suppressing emotions just because they're uncomfortable. Go talk to a 4. And see how they deal with their emotions because it can be really cathartic and healthy to actually feel them. Impulse buying, that's done. Saying yes to every possible event, even if you wanna go to all of them, you're gonna burn out. Here are your ins for 2025. Trusting your intuition, dreaming big and being a tiny bit delulu. I think 7s thrive at that, just keep being you. Balance, okay, be like Simone Biles on the balance beam. Balance in your life. Spontaneous day trips, yes to that, keep doing that. Holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity, and I mean that seriously, you need to defy gravity this year. Acknowledging that you have everything you need to be happy. You don't need that next best thing. You have all of the tools right now to be happy. What else is in? Sharing your joy with others, that's your superpower. And planning for the year ahead. And it doesn't have to be that big. Like you can plan for the week ahead, then plan for the month ahead. Like start slow, but plan, make some concrete things for the future that you can work towards. Type 6, outs for 2025. We've got worrying about the future. We're done with that. That just it does nothing. It just hurts you. It sucks. Thinking negative things about your body. We're not doing that. In fact, if you're gonna think anything about your body, you're gonna make it a positive thing. Needing validation from others before making a decision. Replying to negative comments. We're not feeding into that this year. Comparing yourself to people on social media. That just makes you feel bad. There's no point. Unfollow those. In fact, do that right now. Go through your Instagram or whatever social platform you like. Unfollow the people that make you feel bad about yourself. What else is out? Saying yes when you want to say no, okay? You don't have to be the loyalist to every single person in your life, okay? You can also have boundaries. That's the theme, I think, of this video, boundaries for all of the types. And last, a cluttered home. That's done. That's gonna make you even more anxious. We're gonna have a tidy home. We're gonna re-condo some stuff. All right, ins for 2025. Trusting yourself, you got this. Don't second guess it, you know what's best for you. Establishing strong support systems. Finding playfulness in daily life. Find ways to bring laughter and play into your days. That's gonna make everything so much better. Friendships that fill your cup. 110% yes. Journaling, I think journaling is a fantastic tool for 6s, journaling out all those bad thoughts and then writing the things that you want to exist in the world, in your life. Financial planning, singing loudly in the car, comfort TV shows and movies, heck yes. And then lastly, prioritizing sleep. 6s are getting sleep this year. Okay, type 5s, here are your outs for 2025. Saying, but I don't need more friends, okay? You do actually. You do need more friends. Did you know that there's groups of people who love what you love and want to nerd out about it with you, there's a whole community just waiting for you. You need them. Observing more than you participate, that's out. Fear of the unknown, that's out. Overcommitting. 5s do this when they get stressed, when they're going towards their unhealthy path, right? They overcommit, they get frazzled and they start doing so much. We're not doing that. Simplify your life. Staying in your comfort zone. We're not doing that either. That's going out the window. You're gonna get out there and you're actually gonna do stuff instead of just learning about that stuff. What we're also not doing this year is downplaying the things that you're good at. I want 5s to showcase themselves. You're not a wallflower. So often, especially when I teach corporate workshops, I find that 5s don't put themselves out there, even if they know the most about whatever it is the thing is that everyone's doing, right? Like they will let a 3 or an 8 take the lead and kind of sit back, even though they know more than anybody about it. Why do you do this? Take the lead. We need more 5 leaders. We really do. How cool would that be if we had so many 5s and 9s just filling the workplace just with all of their cool strengths and the things that they can do with teams? Like, I want that for you. Out, scrolling before bed. I know it's addicting. I do it too, but it's so bad for us. It's so bad in so many ways. Neglecting your recharge time. 5s need it. They need that introvert recharge time in order to be their best selves. So make sure you're prioritizing that. INS for 2025, making connections with like-minded people. We're going out there, we're finding that community this year. Setting actionable goals, communicating your healthy boundaries, and that goes back to the recharging thing, right? If you need to set boundaries to recharge, then you have to do that. Taking an online course in something that fascinates you. There's so many options, like they're everywhere. There's Skillshare, Masterclass. I think everyone and their mom is selling a course. Find something like totally random and fun that you really want to learn about and take a course about it. Reading before bed. So instead of the scrolling, we're picking up those books. I don't think that's going to be a problem for 5s. Spending more time outside. Yes to that. Get outside, get into nature. That is going to help your mental health so much. And then asking for help when you're overwhelmed. Okay, sorry for the change in setting. I am a new mom. I have a 2-month-old and he needed to be fed. So a little bit of a change up, and an hour and a half later, I'm back to tell you about type 4, the outs for type 4 for 2025. The first thing is emotional eating. That just adds so many complications. It makes you feel bad. It's not good for you. And it just it doesn't in the long run make you feel better. Next is losing focus from your goals. I find that 4s get really amped about a new idea, but then as the newness of that idea kind of wears off and the motivation wears off, they stop trying to work towards that thing, and I think it's really detrimental to a 4's dreams. So I think that focusing really sharply on your goals, that's really helpful. What is out? Unnecessary drama. We're not making it, we're not adding into it. What else is out? Doing it later or doing it when you feel like it. Spoiler alert, you're never gonna feel like it, ever. That goes back to the losing focus from your goals. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline and routine. Wallowing in self-pity, that's leaving. You can feel sad, you can feel melancholy, you can cry, but the wallowing and the victim mentality, that's done. What else is out? Raindrop text messages. This is actually something that I do. It annoys my husband, who is a 4, and I am a 3. But it increases comedic effect. So if it's increasing comedic effect, yes, do the raindrops. But on normal things, don't do the raindrops. Doom scrolling, that's out. Comparing yourself to strangers online, just like the 6s, go and unfollow people who don't make you feel good. Clothes that don't make you feel good. We're only wearing outfits that make us feel our best selves. And consuming more than you create. 4s need to focus more on making things and less on just watching things this year. Your INS for 2025, focusing on 1 or 2 main goals, not 6 or 7. Just narrow it down to 1 or 2, and that is gonna help you actually achieve those things. So instead of spreading yourself too thin, you're going to accomplish 1 goal, set it aside, and then move on to the next one. So a little bit more of a simplification and a narrowing down this year. Joyful movement. Anything that brings you joy, doing that. Deep conversations. 4s don't need much incentive to do this. They're so good at deep conversations. Celebrating creativity. You are going to praise the things that you're creative for. You are going to honor your creativity. You're going to read books about creativity. It's all about being creative this year. We need it. We need your creativity in the world. Giving compliments, just being effusive about the cool people in your life, telling them why they're cool, why you love them, giving them compliments. Finally, doing that side hustle you've been dreaming about for years. This ties back to that focusing, that simplifying. There's probably something that's been niggling at you your whole life. You're just like, I really want to do this, but you never get around to it. You never fully commit to it. Let's commit to it this year. Let's do that side hustle. Other ins, repeating outfits. If you have an outfit that just makes you feel like an absolute superstar, keep wearing that. Don't save it for a special occasion. Put on that sparkly dress on a Tuesday, like whatever it is, you need to wear it multiple times, because if it makes you happy, then let's increase that happiness. Walks in nature, that's in for 4s. Let's wander about like Anne of Green Gables and wax eloquent about the world and the world around us. And also mixtapes, gonna be very millennial and bring up some mixtapes. Let's bring those back in for type 4s. Type 3, my type, some outs for you. Overwhelm and busyness. This is so hard to do as a 3, but it can be so incredibly helpful for your mental health if you can just get over the constant need to be doing something. Saying yes to everything, that's out. Looking at your phone first thing in the morning, especially checking your email and social media accounts. We're not doing that. Wasting money, no impulse buys. If you feel like you really need to buy something, put the link in a note on your phone and check back in 2 weeks. And then if you still want that thing, wait another 2 weeks and then you can buy it. Okay, that's what I've been doing. It's been really helpful. I look back on these things and I'm like, oh, why did this feel so important to my life? And now I don't need it. Out also is gossip. No more of that. You know why? It feels bad when it happens about you, and let's just not put it out into the world. No more gossip. Using productivity as a metric of self-worth. What you do does not equal who you are. I really hope that I can implement this year, because I am a new mom. My life revolves around a baby's whims. I'm just simply not gonna be able to do what I have done my whole life. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be hard. But guess what? Checking things off my to-do list doesn't make me a more worthy person. And lastly, what is out? Comparing yourself to others. Here's what we're welcoming in for 3s this year. Slowing down, just like some slow living. We are gonna do it. Valuing yourself for who you are and not for what you do. I really want to do that this year. Enjoying your own company. Reading just for fun. Pull out those fantasy books. Picnics, because picnics are awesome. Lifting others up. Cheerleading is a 3's contribution to community, and so I think the more you implement that in the lives of the people around you, the better you're gonna make your community. Daily movement, super important for 3s. That my psychiatrist recently told me, Abby, you need to move your body every day, and okay, fine, I will. And last, prioritizing peace. Let's lean into the good parts of the Enneagram Type 9. Let's prioritize peace in our lives. Type 2, what is out? Relying on others for validation. Kick that to the curb. Being everything for everyone, all right? People are gonna have to get used to not having you around, because you need to take care of yourself. Saying no worries, that's out. Ignoring your own needs. We are taking care of what you need to do this year. We're eating 3 meals a day. We're showering. We're doing the passion projects that we wanna do. We're not doing other people's passion projects, we're doing ours. Being passive aggressive, we're gonna take out the passive. We're just gonna say what we need, say if we're angry. We're not gonna bury it and let it come out in really odd ways. We're not caring about what other people think. We are not eating unhealthy things just to keep us going. We wanna fuel our bodies. And the last thing that's out, avoiding difficult conversations. For 2s, they really gotta get nitty gritty. Even though it feels bad, even though there's a fear of being rejected or unwanted, getting into those conversations can help you grow as a person and can really help your relationships. Now for your ins, saying your boundaries out loud, and then once you set those boundaries, you keep those boundaries. Like 2s can set boundaries, but then they'll, let it give way to something else. So setting those boundaries and sticking with them. Standing up for yourself, that is in. Self-care as a practice, not a buzzword. Hobbies, having your own hobbies, things you love, not things that other people love that you're doing with them. Intentional friendships, friendships that actually fill you up. Maybe get rid of those friendships, cut the cords of those friendships that aren't filling you up, that are just totally draining you and they're using you. Let that go. Asking for help is in. Puppy and baby snuggles is in. And healthy snacks, that's also in. Not to say that you can't have chocolate and Cheetos. I mean, those things are great, but we're also doing healthy snacks. And last but never least, type 1s. Your outs for 2025 is forcing yourself to do things just because you think you should. You're not doing that anymore. You're not overworking. You're gonna work a reasonable amount and then have rest time at the end of the day. Something else that's out, not starting something out of fear that you won't do it perfectly. A lot of wonderful hobbies are not done because ones are scared of it, or passions, or things that maybe you want to get on the stage and be a Shakespearean actor. Just do it. You might be the worst actor in the world, but it's gonna be fun and it's gonna fulfill that lifelong dream for you. Mindless scrolling, ditch that. Biting nails, I need to take my advice on that one. We're not biting our nails anymore. And comparing yourself to others. And here's some inspiration for your ins for 2025, all right? Grounding activities. You know, you take off your shoes, you get in the grass. What are things that make you feel calm, not manic, not like an endless to-do list running in your head? What grounds you? Do those things. Maintaining boundaries. Yes. Doing things just for fun. Find that inner child, release that inner child. I want that for you. And that is a huge sign of one's growth. Positive self-talk, that's in. We're gonna shut down that harsh critic that's inside telling you mean things. We're shutting that down this year. Vacations are in. Plan them now. Get them ready for the rest of the year because that's gonna help your mental health so much. Extending grace to yourself and extending grace to the people in your life. Using your library card, because having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. And then trying something new every month. That can be hard for ones because they've got their routine. They don't want to try something new if they're going to be bad at it, but just put yourself out there, do something childlike, do something joyful, try a new hobby once a month. Okay. So that is my long list of things. If you want practical ways to start applying these ins in your life, I made a video about how to get what you want based on your Enneagram type, and I will link that right here. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.